Timoldmangig, how we doing? Today, I'm going to be heading to one of my booths out here in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and I'm going to be doing a reset on it and putting out some of that stuff that I bought in the auction from the video auctions number 2, episode 2. I'm going to be getting that stuff out as well, so stand by and take a look at that, and we'll get the hints and tips coming along.
I always recommend for people to do is, if you do have a booth, is you need to rearrange it. I just rearranged my booth here in North Wilkes, North Carolina. A lot of the stuff that here is on this front table here was on this back table there, and the stuff that was on that back table was up here in the front. So I switched it around. I try to do that at least once a month, and then move things around. I put those new pieces in I got in the auction. And the other thing I try to do is get things color coordinated as best as I can, where all colors are in the same place, so it looks a little nicer. As you can see here, all that red is all together, and then it flows into some of this other stuff. So you want to set it to where it kind of flows and draw people in and move stuff around. Like this is my clearance table. I have a separate number, and it's just stuff that odds and ends that I just threw up there and put a price on, mark it down 6%, put $8-9 on it, get a few out of it that I didn't have much in it. Like these plates here, I got $1 each in them. So, you know, like this one here, this biscuit jar here, it got a chip in it. Didn't realize that at first. So, but I mean, so now I just sell it down at a discounted price, so it moves. It kind of gets hidden by the lid, so it's still sellable, but not at a better price. Crystal vases. Like I said, I like to keep a selection of smalls around. That's why I like the small pencil sharpeners. I have these little figurines here. I picked up relatively cheap, about 75 cents to $1 each, and put them up here for $4, 4 to 6 range. We can sell those, and that helps pay for the booth rent. And that's one of the things you want to do, is you want to make sure you pay for your booth rent using the smalls, and that way when you sell like some larger items like that wall clock there or that mantle clock there, it's all profit. And I got these Clark figurines, or statues, or whatever you want to call them. Tom Clark. This Indian one is my favorite. I got that one marked a little bit higher than it should be, but because if it don't sell, I don't care, because I'll keep it. And then there's all of that china that I bought over the Goodwill you seen on the video a couple weeks back. And there's the milk glass stuff that I got. So we'll cover more of these do's and don'ts if you want to do a booth. And like my thing is going through and moving stuff around. You don't want it keeping looking the same. You want to keep it looking fresh.
So I did the little switch around in the booths, did a little talk on some of that stuff. Going back to that, some tips. Always be moving stuff around in your booths. So you want to be visiting it, not often, you know, not like you don't have to go there daily, but I'd say at least once every 2 weeks you go there, either to add new pieces in, move stuff around, rearrange it so it doesn't look the same. Because a lot of times you get a lot of regulars that go to these antique malls and they look at the booths, and I do this because I'm there quite often. If I walk past somebody's booth and it looks the same as the last time I was there, why would I even go in? They could have put new stuff in there, but it's there in the back. How am I supposed to know? But if they don't move their stuff around, or they don't dust their stuff, that's the other thing. You know, you gotta keep it kind of clean and presentable. You don't want it cluttered. You want it kind of organized. And that's why I try to color coordinate things if you can. Like if the glassware, I try to keep all the reds, blues, and the greens. It actually pops a little bit better. And if you can get the color wheel going around on that, it works out even better. If you can have, you know, yellows, reds, and greens and blues, you know, going in a certain pattern there, and on shelving. It looks sharp, it looks good. The same thing with any of the stuff. You want to keep it kind of looking organized like you would in a store. You don't want it to look like it's just been thrown out there and you're hoping to sell it. People don't want to rummage through things. Some people do, but then you're going to get stuff broken if you let people rummage through your stuff. So I avoid that. The other thing I don't like in booths is stuff that's marked NSF. If you don't know what NSF means, if you see it on a tag, it means, or NFS, it means not for sale. All right, why put it out there if you're not going to have it for sale? Now, sometimes they put it on their display cases. I get that. I'm going to show a picture here in a second of a China hutch that I bought for $45, and I used it for display for my uranium glass with the black light. You'll see that picture now. Now, okay, so yeah, and I put a price tag on it because I don't like NSF. I put a price tag on it like $375. Like I said, I paid $45 for it, and so I put a price tag on it for $375. Well, as you can tell from the pictures in that booth, it's no longer there because it got sold. I mean, even though I put a ridiculous price on it, somebody wanted it. Even though I had drilled holes in it and modified it to put a black light in it, they bought the hutch, but the black light didn't come with it because I had that on the tag, no black light not included. So they had to be unscrewed out, so it had holes in the cabinet from where I drilled the holes to modify it. But they still paid $375 for it, go figure. But those are the things. You want to have even all my shelving. If someone wants to buy some of that plastic shelving and those cheap tables that I got like $25, $35 on them. It only cost me 10, if that, each, 10, 15. Someone wants to give me $35, $45 for them, I'll take it all day long. I don't care. I mean, I'll just go to the store right down the street from there and buy another one. It takes me 5 minutes to put it up, so no big deal. So those are some tips on that. Keep it clutter free, keep it changed, and try to keep putting new items in there as often as you can. Sometimes I overbuy stuff and I don't put everything out, and I keep a tote under one of the tables that's covered up with the cloth, so when I go there I can switch items around and move stuff, because people will see, hey man, it's gone, and then they'll come back and maybe look, so maybe they'll get the idea in their head that if they want it, they better buy it because somebody else is. So I move stuff around from booth to booth, little things, some big things, and so that way there's always something different. I'll go to one, grab some of this stuff, put some other stuff out, and take that stuff, put it over in the other booth, because some stuff will sell here in North Wilkesboro that I can't sell and here in Boone, or in my other one out going in Boone and out, and so I can get a better premium there than I can here. So it all depends. And the other thing is how you rent your booths. Remember, it's kind of like a consignment. Most of the malls, you rent the booth and you have a monthly booth rent, and as items sell, that goes towards your booth rent for that month, and they take it out and you get what's left over. The booth I have is upstairs, and it's cheaper because they put a higher premium on the ground floor than they do on the upper floor in some areas. Don't ask me why, but they do. So you want to keep your booth rent as low as you can, and you want it in a nice mall or an area that is kept clean and clutter free. I've gone into some antique malls where it looks like people just like taking stuff and throwing it out there like a pile of clothes and just throwing it there in the middle of the floor so you can rummage through it, or in a trunk or whatever. And it looks like a yard sale, like an indoor yard sale. I don't like those places. You can't get everybody's thinking this is going to be a yard sale. It's not. You want to make it look good and be in a good area, and other people are making their booths looking good, because that means you can charge maybe a little bit more, or or something else, and it attracts better clientele because they're looking for something and they're not wanting to rummage through like a flea market. All right, you know, you're trying to upsell your stuff, so you want to be in an upscale place, not an upscale, but you know, in a decent place where it looks good and it'll attract people, and then you can sell it for a few dollars more. And that's the name of the game, to sell it for as much as you can and make as much money as you can at doing it. So tell me what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Those are my hit tips and hints, and you can call them tricks, hacks, whatever. It's just common sense, but you'd be surprised when you go to the antique malls how many people don't do those simple things. Just doing those simple things. Like today, later on today, I'll look and I'll see sales that happen, because it almost happens almost every time when I rearrange my booth. Within a day or two, stuff starts moving. Is it because I was out there or moved it? It could be. I don't know, but it seems to work that way. So you got to always constantly be on top of your game. And I was there for an hour, so that's an hour of my day to try to upsell stuff, and for me it's worth my time and my effort to do so. So give me your thoughts, your comments, how you've been liking the videos. Leave it down below. As always, give me a subscribe if you want to see more of my videos and get the notifications. I'd really like that. We're almost reaching up to 800 subscribers now, so I appreciate that, and I just need more. So thank you all, and I hope you've been enjoying this. And we're going to be doing more of these, and I'm going to show you on the next one. After this one, my next one was going to be selling online, selling items online. And I'm not just talking about eBay or Etsy. There's other ways to do it. So we're going to go into those options that are a lot cheaper or better for you. All right, so let's end this now. This is Timoldmangig. Peace out. Enjoy.